exclusive forum featuring the candidates for LA County District Attorney. Join KBLA's Tavis Smiley as he helps navigate what promises to be a forum full of fire when the candidates trying to unseat current LA DA George Gascon come together on stage on the campus of the Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science. Again, it's the LA County District Attorney Forum, live, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580, Saturday morning, January 13th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Helping to raise your civic IQ. We're KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
So let's get started with breadcrumbing, which is when someone throws you intermittent crumbs or morsels of positive reinforcement. This reinforcement can be attention, admiration, a caring gesture. Maybe it's a flirtatious text, a sweet comment on your social media post, a nice email showing interest in you, or a vague suggestion that you get together sometime. When you respond, you may get a few non-committal crumbs, or you may get no response at all. And if any plans or commitments are made, they end up getting changed or canceled. These interactions come sporadically, and the intention is to keep you emotionally engaged. Obviously, this makes it hard for you to forget about them because they seem so great and they keep giving you hope that something might materialize in the future. So instead of moving on, you just wait for another crumb. And these crumbs, at least usually, are not just any old crumbs. These crumbs arouse positive emotion, curiosity, excitement, and provide a hit of dopamine.
This is a piece of a croissant. This ain't just a rich cracker crumb. This is a high-end crumb. You understand? Might even be a little caviar on it or something. This is a biscuit. This is something fancy. Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR has returned. Future faking, heavy topic tonight. Unfulfilled promises, the unfulfilled promises, the unspoken culprit of many failed relationships. We got phone lines cracking, people in the chat room. Somebody in the chat room said something that was quite profound, I believe. They said there's a distinct difference between commitments and promises. And I'd like to know. Right? I'd really like for them to call in and tell me. I know I have an idea, right, between a commitment and a promise. Andy got I see Andy done put his headphones on. Andy, come on.
I'm going to try to take a gander at it. I think the commitment is more specifying the action, right? The promise is just the statement. But the commitment is the follow through of the promise.
It's a plan. Look, I said I was going to do it, but here's the plan of action. And here I'm taking step 1, 2, 3 today. That's the commit. I see. So there's difference between, well, according to Andy, there's a difference. But I like the way Andy broke that down. Let's get it, man. Who been on the longest? God Melanin from Houston, Texas. What are your thoughts?
Peace, brother. Peace, man. Firstly, I just want to let you know, I do feel like you and Brother Truemonger might have took the wind out of my sails a little bit, man, because my feedback that I had for you, I think y'all really touched on that in depth. But what I will say, if you allow me, is that kind of just to follow up, are promises necessary? Because I feel like promises can kind of be like the Band-Aids over the scabs of inconsistency, right? Like, if I'm built a certain way, the way that I move, whether it's an intimate relationship, business, whatever the case is, people are going to see demonstrated in my actions, I'm thorough, and what I say is going to come through. Whereas if I'm the type of cat who's flaky and hemming and hawing about everything, then yeah, maybe I'm going to end up in a position to where I got to promise this time I'm finna do X, Y, Z because the last times A through B, I can't, I fell through. So I think in a way, if you get to the stage to where you got to make promises, your whole thing is already busted because you already demonstrated that you're not trustworthy. You're not capable of doing what people need you to do or what you say you're going to
do. That's interesting. So you're of the mindset that a promise, especially a consistent promise, ooh, that's an indication that you can't do it, which is why you have to. That's interesting. That's interesting.
That's how I'm saying it, brother.
Hey.
And I say that because I'm from Houston, bro. I'm out of Texas. We don't really talk about a whole lot. If we finna do something, it's gonna get done. My parents ain't tell me, oh son, we finna do X, Y, Z. It happened. You know what I'm saying? My mom's, my pops, they came through. So that's really all I know. If I get to the point to where I'm talking too much to them, they already looking at me funny, like you doing too much.
Why are you still in here talking, boy? Get on.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, but hey, I don't want to hold up the program, brother. That's really all I have. I just wanted to ask that question and get your feedback on it.
Okay.
I know it's other callers I got to get through. I want to have respect for the show. I want everything to flow. So I'm gonna peace out.
Thank you,
Before
brother.
I leave, I do want to say I appreciate you. R.I.P. Dr. G. You know what I mean? We
yes,
lost
sir.
a real one.
Yes, sir. But guess what you just did, God Melanin? Hold on now. What did you just do?
Yeah. Oh, I brought the ace through in a major way. You know what I mean?
Sir.
To the KBLA.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Houston, Texas in the building because of God Melanin. Everybody's okay. Andy is protesting LA right now. He done threw up the LA sign and LA, where are you? Andy wants you to get in here and talk to us tonight. We got callers, though. Let's get them in here. John from Mountain View, Hawaii. Get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Greetings and blessings, greetings and blessings, chat, and everybody that's listening. I don't want to go down a big rabbit hole, but I want to say these few things to get off. Number one, maybe the faking and the promise giving and all that other stuff is just like the relationship we have in the spiritual with the devil and the angel.
Huh. Here we go.
Both of them were made by God. Both of them are a tool used to get you to the place where you need to be. And therefore, again, with all of these things working in your process to doggone get you where you need to be, because whether you know it or not, if you didn't learn this lesson, you're repeating.
Wow. If you didn't learn this lesson, it will repeat is what you said.
Again, I mean, I'm looking at things because I'm reading also the sexology, the Tao of sexology at the same time, and it brings me to the glands where if one of those is in a line, everything is off balance. So therefore, if you need the evil in your life to get you to the place where you need to be in your life, then use the evil.
Wait a minute. If you need say it again.
If you need the evil in your life.
I thought that's what you said.
Some of us, if you need the evil in your life, use it. Because again, the evil in your life is either going to put you in one or two paths. The one where you're continuing down the path of evil, procrastination, whatever you want to call it, keeping yourself from doing the true things you're supposed to do. Or bottom line, it smacks you right into the place where you actually need to be, on the road to righteousness.
Interesting perspective. So let me ask you a question. Do you make promises?
Do I make promises? I try my best not to, but at the same time, when you're talking to an individual and that's what they want to hear, what are you going to tell them?
You mean to tell me there are people out there who want to hear promises being made, or do they want to see action being taken? I think most people would lean to the side of action being taken.
But women give men who treat them bad reward, right?
Ooh. He done called out the ladies. Ladies, 1-800-920-1580.
But I'm not just calling out the women because again, men, why do you like the fake women on Instagram?
Interesting. I'm listening. I'm paying attention. Keep going.
The only reason I'm going to these places because again, everything is supposed to work together for the good of you. And that's the reason why I say even the evil times, even the stuff that's faking and fronting or this, that, and the third, you won't learn the lesson until somebody fakes it in front of you and then you say, ooh, I don't want to go there, or say more. Go deeper.
So when you've broken a promise, how have you made amends for the broken promise?
Well, broken promises. I could say that in my own marriage because, again, it didn't work. But at the same time, I did commit myself to this human being on the level that I thought I could manage. As a human being, we want to be spiritually led on everything to make sure we're doing it right. But every time we listen to the spirit, it tells us a blanket way to do it, and we still choose to go the opposite. So again, if choosing righteousness is such a bad thing, and it's not, we choose the bad thing and we see that it doesn't work. Where do we need to go?
But I don't know if you answered my question. How did you make amends from a broken promise, brother?
I'm still making that amends as we speak because the human being that divorced me by seeing that I made those faults, and now she sees me as a better person.
So you have made amends. Did you apologize? Did you acknowledge your wrongdoing? Did you adjust your behavior? What happened?
Well, in all of those things, yes, I did every one of those steps. From acknowledge my faults and my failures in the marriage, making it step forward to the place where I can show forth the actions, whereas in my daughters will ask me at the point of, Dad, will you be there when I need you? And I'm looking at you like, where do you want me to show you in my account where the money is reserved and the leave is on standby for you to tell me when the emergency is? Or the wife that apparently is not my wife, but still the one I considered I gave a promise to. And at this point, I'm still achieving and doing those things because this is the same human being I still give money to.
Truemonger said
it's not a weird thing for me to be divorced, but at the same time, it's strange that we still have an even more loving relationship than we had ever when we were married.
Truemonger said they're still holding your promise over your head, or they're holding your promise you made over your head. You agree or disagree?
Well, that may be true depending on them, but as the human being that I am, I also hold that same promise. I put those words out there.
Yes, sir.
I said I was going to be committed to her till she died.
There you go. That's solid brother right there. Hey, John, guess what you just did?
Mountain View is in the house.
Yes, sir. Mountain View, Hawaii. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call us 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, more from the VOR.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I have a dream.
On Friday, January 12th, as we head into Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. annual holiday weekend, KBLA Talk 1580 will announce a historic climate justice campaign aimed at California communities of color. KBLA Talk 1580 is joined in this historic effort by both public and private partners including LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, Cal Endow, the Sierra Club, and many other partners. There's a clear connection between Dr. King's moral conscience on the notion of reverence for all human life and the future of our world house. This year, on the MLK holiday weekend, KBLA assigns itself the task of elevating the climate conversation by amplifying the voices of those who are most impacted by the climate catastrophes we are witnessing in real time. Stay tuned for more details at KBLA Talk 1580 Climate is king.
With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
There are many things to love about winter. Cozy sweaters, celebrations, and family time. But winter can also bring many stressors, extra expenses, seasonal bugs, and so much family time. If you and your loved ones are feeling stressed or anxious this winter, CalHope can help. Check out our free mental health resource at calhope.org today.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah. Sound good to me. This sound hard. Something funky people gon' dance to. Give the record a second and a chance to. Hitting people like a scene of amazement. While they slipping back, my feet is planted in the pavement. Crumble I can never do. So now I'm looking dead at you. What are you gonna do? You listen to the knowledge of a scholar. You say how I breathe, tell them how I holler. I'm the E-double, and I proclaim my name. Straight up, good gang, peeps all game. I'm like a rhino, running through the roughest pack. They figure I'm a trigger happy nigga, so they step back, breathe. The microphone is who lasts the longest, and who's the strongest. It ain't a game, it's plain to see. You listen to the sounds of breathe. There ain't a future in your front. I never got caught with a key.
Ladies and gentlemen, that playlist is bananas. Woo, my playlist is my co-host, MC Breed. No future in your frontin'. Broken promises. That's tonight's topic. And it's a deep one. You know, it happens more times than not. Broken promises have a profound impact on our emotional well-being and our ability to trust others, right? Somebody says they're going to do something. Somebody says they want to do something, and they don't do it. Okay, fine, you didn't do it the first time. Maybe fine, you didn't do it the second time. But when it becomes a way of life, you know, it could really wreak havoc on our trust, our ability to trust. When someone makes a promise and fails to fulfill it, it creates a deep sense of disappointment, betrayal, and disillusionment, which means, you know what? I really can't believe anything this person says. I really have to deal with them at the end of a 10-foot pole, right? I got to keep them at arm's distance, or I have to create a boundary to protect myself from falling into whatever promise they want to sell me on, right? Whether it is a broken promise in a romantic relationship, a friendship, or a professional setting, the effects can be deeply damaging. Trust once broken is not easily repaired. and it takes time and effort to rebuild it. The pain caused by broken promises can lead to feelings of resentment, anger, and a loss of faith in others. Like, man, I can't even believe in you. Gosh. Listen, I've felt that way towards people, and I'm damn sure people have felt a loss of faith in me. Narcissistic future faking is a manipulative tactic used by individuals with narcissistic tendencies. Now listen, as my sister Pacoya McCall, Dr. Pacoya McCall said last week, we all have narcissistic tendencies. That does not necessarily reduce us to being a narcissist. You know, these are tendencies, right? It involves narcissistic pump faking or future faking. It involves grand promises and painting a picture of a future that seems too good to be true. These individuals use future faking as a means to gain control, manipulate others, and maintain their inflated sense of self-importance. They lure their victims in with promises of love, success, and happiness, only later to reveal their true intentions of self-serving behavior. The effects of narcissistic future faking can be devastating, leaving the victims feeling deceived, used, and emotionally drained. Heavy topic. Listen, this is, once again, Texas dominates the phone calls or the phone lines, right? Texas is back in the building. Let's get Houston back in here. Attila, talk to me.
Uncle Zoe, you know I can't let you down since we're talking about promises and stuff. And whatnot. We call in. I'm not that tired. Okay. Now, I'm going to say something. I'm not trying to be controversial.
That's all right.
But some people in the chat have raised some good points.
Yes, they have.
About delusions, self-delusions. Because when we're talking about future faking, at a certain point, it really only works if you allow it.
Talk
it's your
to me.
boundaries that need work, right? So if you lied to me once, okay, you know, I may be able to forgive that or whatever, you know. Second, third, fourth, fifth time, that's on you. So if I make a vow to myself to say that I have a serious commitment to integrity in my life, not only for myself but for others, then trusting you is breaking a promise to myself. So
come on, I knew somebody was going to get to it. Yes.
I'm just saying, so like how many vows do we have that we've made to ourselves that we've broken? I mean, if you're in that type of situation, you're probably a truth breaker with yourself more often than not. So, I mean, I think that's just something to consider. Another part that we haven't really talked about is codependency and people pleasing, because that also is kind of the other end. There's the narcissism part, but there's also the codependency part as well, of telling people what they want to hear. I used to have that bad. And honestly, it was so weird because I felt as though growing up, it was kind of weird because I didn't know whether or not the truth was always valuable, because I feel like the majority of the times it wasn't. So if the lie is more valuable or more convenient, then which one do you think I'm going to choose? So, I mean, I say all that to say that, like, I think I became pretty good at being able to sense what it was that people wanted, and I just kind of went with that. And so, like I said, it's not always like a narcissism thing. I think this is something that, again, narcissism and codependency being the two scales, you know, you can either swing one way or the other. And so I think that's something that we need to kind of consider as well. But yeah, I mean, if you're upset with people lying to you, perhaps you should ask yourself what you've been lying to yourself about.
Listen, that piece about broken promises to oneself, like we could create a whole, like, you want to, this is date number 1, right? And we're doing this. You ask a question about me, I ask a question about you. We're trying to get to know each other, right? How many vows have you broken to yourself? Is that question? How many promises have you broken to yourself? Promises you've made to yourself. How many of those promises you fulfilled versus how many of those promises you failed at? Is that too soon on the first date?
On the first date, I would say yes. But look, I mean, you're talking to somebody who's Helen or is nosy. You know, I might save that for the third or the fifth. For real. But I mean, like, it is something that we got to consider this now. Numerous, right? And if that's a part of you that you're unaware of, child, ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. You don't even know. You don't have the cognitive, spiritual, mental awareness to even understand that you've.
Heavy. Wait a minute. Where did Attila go? Where is she? Did we lose Attila? Attila, get back in here. Oh, there she is. Attila. Sorry about that. No. Yeah, you were saying and then you got cut off. Go ahead. Give me one more.
Did you hear me when I said that you don't have the cognitive or spiritual or mental awareness to recognize that you've lied to yourself? It doesn't even register. So when you're in that state of mind, the codependent state of mind, you have no idea because you're moving in more of a singularity type pattern where you're merged and enmeshed with that person. So you're one being, meaning that whatever they say goes, or whatever it is you're trying to anticipate from them goes, because it's all about trying to get that need met. You're serving your need more than you are serving the truth. Wow. So again, you have to make the decision on who your master is. You can't serve two masters. Do you want to serve the truth or do you want to serve your needs?
Do you want to serve the truth or do you want to serve your needs? Somebody meme it. Hey, let me just say this. Attila, you cooked with the rarest oils tonight. Ma'am, what did you just do?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas came back in. If you want to bring your city into this national discussion, which is being held live on KBLA Talk 1580, the VOR, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. Krishnamurti, to break free from this cycle of seeking external promises, we must turn inward and cultivate our own sense of reality and fulfillment. We must learn to trust ourselves and rely on our own intuition and inner wisdom. Instead of seeking validation and happiness from others, we can focus on self-discovery, personal growth, and aligning ourselves with our true values and desires. By taking responsibility for our own happiness, we can regain control over our lives and create a foundation of authenticity and self-empowerment. That is a response to Krishnamurti's quote. When we come forward, we got Jacksonville, Florida, getting ready to join this powerful discussion. Don't get it twisted. The phone lines are open. Let's go.
I'm picking suckers like a 4-leaf clover. They biting words on the Michael Jason's cobras. So now they saying egg breeders get no.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Police have confirmed a 6th grade student is dead after an active shooter event at an Iowa high school. It happened during the first day back for students at Perry High School, which is around 40 miles northwest of Des Moines. There are also a handful of gunshot victims who are in the hospital. The 17-year-old shooter, who was a student there, took his own life and also left behind an explosive device that was defused. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds said their hearts are heavy and gave her condolences. The president of the Salt Lake branch of the NAACP is running for the State House of Representatives. Longtime civil rights activist Janetta Williams filed to run to represent House District 26. Williams, who is black, is challenging Republican Representative Matt McPherson. State House District 26 is considered one of the most competitive seats in Utah. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Joe
Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
I have a dream.
On Friday, January 12th, as we head into Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. annual holiday weekend, KBLA Talk 1580 will announce a historic climate justice campaign aimed at California communities of color. KBLA Talk 1580 is joined in this historic effort by both public and private partners including LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, Cal and Dow, the Sierra Club, and many other partners. There's a clear connection between Dr. King's moral conscience on the notion of reverence for all human life and the future of our world house. This year, on the MLK holiday weekend, KBLA assigns itself the task of elevating the climate conversation by amplifying the voices of those who are most impacted by the climate catastrophes we are witnessing in real time. Stay tuned for more details. At KBLA Talk 1580, Climate is King.
With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your Black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Cover California is a free service from the state that's already helped millions of people like you get and pay for health insurance. With financial help to lower the cost of health coverage, you could get a quality health plan for less than $10 a month. Every plan covers preventive care, doctor visits, emergency care, and more. If you have questions, we're here to help every step of the way. Cover California, this way to health insurance. Enroll by January 31st at coveredca.com.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor. And I need it right away. I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of reason.
Yo, so I got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my two-time tip. And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected, neglected my effort, a pair with no trust, dirty games and affairs that been tearing us up. If things ain't picture perfect, is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need to know for certain.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor. And I need it right away. I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of
If you are in a relationship with a narcissist, especially if you've been in more than one, then this information will help you recognize the traps and tactics that the female covert narcissist will use on you, and I will also explain the reasons you don't always run when you see these red flags. This information is not about blaming or shaming you. It's really about helping you identify what makes you more vulnerable to falling prey to the female covert narcissist and how to protect yourself from her. My videos on mental illness are for educational purposes only. So if you are looking to learn more about narcissistic personality disorder and other mental illnesses, as well as how to handle and protect yourself, then you're in the right place. But if you need support, please seek help. As much as NPD is a serious mental illness, it does not give that person the right to hurt you. You are not put on this earth to survive someone else's abusive behavior. So the first thing I want you to know, if you are in a relationship with a female covert narcissist, there is no happy ending. So I'm going to jump right in. And first, I want to address what she is looking for in a partner. I believe there are only two types that she's interested in. One, another narcissist, which happens through a process of assortative mating, which is the subject of another video on narcissistic couples. But the second type of person they're attracted to has key characteristics. And I'm going to use the acronym PHIL, P-H-I-L, to describe this type of person that is so appealing to the female covert narcissist. And I will tell you why not only do these types of people get hooked and reeled in, but they also get anchored so that they can never leave. The P in PHIL stands for protector. The female covert narcissist wants someone with a strong protective instinct, someone who is naturally motivated to protect the people that they love. The H stands for helper. This is someone who is inclined to help others and to be of service, even to be a hero. The I stands for integrity, and this is someone who does what they say they're going to do. It's a person who keeps their promises, and this is super important when it comes to anchoring you. L stands for being loving. The female covert narcissist wants someone who is going to love her wholeheartedly, someone who will give her attention, affection, praise, and make her feel special on demand. So here's how it all plays out. So the first phase in the process is where she lures you.
Whoa! The reason why we played that clip, of course, promises is part of the narcissistic piece. Attila came in and said, yo, but there's also a codependent piece. Dr. Pacoya McCall was here, and she said, hey, the rise of the female narcissist is starting to trek forward, right? This is a heavy topic, and it's all wrapped around promises potentially being problematic. Future faking, unfulfilled promises, the unspoken culprit of many failed relationships. Man, this is heavy. Let me get our friend, your friend, Mimi from Jacksonville, Florida. Get in here.
Hey, Zoe. Hey, everyone.
What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
This is a great topic. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank
to
you.
answer your question, you are so welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Promises are not required, but commitments are necessary. What I mean by that is if you have two adults going into a healthy, loving, honest relationship, when you go through the ups and downs of your relationship, your marriage, if you want it to work, you know, you commit to love each other, to respect each other, to be vulnerable with each other, to be honest with each other, even when times are hard, when they're good, when they're bad. You know, you commit to love each other every day. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm listening. You cooking right now. I'm not going to get in your way.
Okay. All right. And may I just add this, because I think sometimes we gloss over this as a couple. You know, I think personally it's a good idea for us to commit to each other to represent each other well. So if I'm out with my girlfriends and I'm acting a certain kind of way, that's going to reflect negatively on my partner. And if he's out with his guys acting a certain kind of way, that's going to reflect on me. So I think it's good if we commit to be, how do I want to say this, not only respectful inwardly, but outwardly as well. I mean, it doesn't matter what people think, but it kind of does, if that makes sense.
No. What do you mean? Does it matter?
You know what I'm saying?
Say more. I'm trying to understand.
Okay. If I have a partner, and my man is going out to Vegas for the weekend, right? We love each other. We trust each other. We're committed. And he's going to Las Vegas, and he's doing anything and everything. You know, and I think, you know, I have this good man, and he's out here with his guys. And there's all kinds of things you can do in Vegas. You can go to clubs. You can go to the movies. You can go to the brothels. You can do your thing. But if you're in the Bunny Ranch, if it's still open, I don't know. But if you're at the Bunny Ranch.
What you know about the Bunny Ranch? Oh, Lord.
I keep up.
Get ready. She on HBO late at night. What's going on? You watching the Bunny Ranch?
If you're at the Bunny Ranch and well, first of all, you're in a relationship with me. Why are you at the Bunny Ranch? Like, where do you go in your mind that you think, this is a good look?
Right.
And if I'm at the Bunny Ranch with my girls, because women can go too, and, you know, things, that's not a good look. I mean, is that too much? Is that too much of a commitment that when you go to Las Vegas?
But see, now you're going down the rabbit hole. Bunny Ranch, you get it? Hey,
yes.
Anyway, let me ask you this. I'm trying to understand the scenario of the promise. Are you making him promise you that he doesn't go to the Bunny Ranch? Or does he promise you that he won't go to the Bunny Ranch and winds up there anyway?
Well, the commitment I'm saying is, can you just be reasonable? I mean, is there a way to go to Las Vegas without some kind of way where it's a scenario where the Bunny Ranch necessarily has to be involved? I mean, is there a way you can just gamble? Gamble?
Let me just ask, did this really happen to you? Because it sounds like you got intimate knowledge of things.
You know, not necessarily. I'm being like real. I mean, like, really.
No, but I get what you're saying. What you're basically saying is, brother, if you commit to something in the relationship, and I would say brother and or sister, if you commit to something in the relationship, you should fight until your last breath to uphold that commitment. I.e. John Gilbreth out of Hawaii. He made a commitment and he has stuck with it, and despite being divorced, right? So that's what you're pointing out right now. And I don't see that as a bad idea. If you commit to something, something that the two of you have agreed upon, I think that's fair.
Yes.
I got you.
I mean, if he cannot wind up in the bunny ranch, then I can make sure I don't wind up at a place where Mr. Big is dancing. Things happen. I can make that same commitment as well. I'm just saying, let's just, cause,
you know what, Mimi? You wanted to say Mr. Big, didn't you? You just wanted to say it, didn't you?
That's what their names are.
We were enjoying the Bunny Ranch conversation, and you had to derail it, didn't you?
That's what their name. That's what they're called. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, Mimi, guess what you just did?
I brought Jacksonville, Florida in the building.
Lord have mercy. Jacksonville, Florida came in the building and started wilding. When we come forward, Zoe's going to wrap it up for you.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
There are many things to love about winter. Cozy sweaters, celebrations, and family time. But winter can also bring many stressors, extra expenses, seasonal bugs, and so much family time. If you and your loved ones are feeling stressed or anxious this winter, CalHope can help. Check out our free mental health resource at calhope.org today.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
There's only a few days left for open enrollment, starting at $0 a month. LA Care Covered offers the benefits you need to achieve your health goals. $0 preventive services, 24/7 virtual care and nurse advice lines, walk-in minute clinics, free fitness and nutrition classes, and more. Become a member of LA's most affordable health plan. Get a free instant quote at lacarecovered.org. Have open enrollment questions? Connect with us today at 855-222-4239. Find your affordable path to wellness with LA Care Covered today.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You want some more? More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
When was the last time you heard this record? Promises, Promises by Naked Eyes. Great record. Man, future faking. Here are some examples of future faking in romantic and non-romantic relationships. In romantic relationships, your partner talks nonstop about creating this amazing, grandiose future together. They want to rush you into making decisions with them physically and or financially. For instance, they mention planning a trip with you, decorating your furniture, your home together, meeting their family, or getting married. However, those events never happen. At your job, it may look like this. At work, your boss promises to give you a raise and or a promotion to keep you motivated and driven. However, as months go by, your hard work is not rewarded and it doesn't get paid off, right? In your family, it looks like this. You confront your sister about her gossiping. She tells you she will change her behavior, but has no intention of doing so. The next month, she's talking behind your back again, right? Right, this future faking happens throughout all types of, relationships, and they're very damaging. So you have to remember, like when we talk about relationships, yes, we primarily talk about intimate relationships, but we're talking about relationships across the board. Relationships, as it pertains to the human condition, are ubiquitous. They're in every aspect of our life. They touch every space and place in our lives, right? And this future faking is exceedingly damaging, right? In relationships, promises are the building blocks of trust and security. I would say a building block, but not, the primary building block, right? Because people made that distinction earlier in the show tonight about commitment, right? And you can say, oh, it's semantics or whatever. You could do that if you want. But I believe if you're committed to a process, like let's just show up, committed to showing up, committed to healing, committed to being accountable, committed to taking responsibility for what is yours to control. I think, that's when we start to get a more healthy version of our relationship. All right. Repairing a relationship after a pattern of broken promises is undoubtedly challenging. Of course, it's very difficult, but it's not impossible. It requires both individuals to acknowledge the damage caused and to commit to rebuilding trust. You got to open up and have some open and honest communication, no disrespect. That's hard to do when you feel attacked, when you feel unheard, unseen, but you got to find a way to do that. You got to open up and have some real discussions, because that's crucial in the process of, growing up out of this space where you feel like, oh man, every time you make a promise, sometimes you're walking on eggshells. You be scared because you feel like, Lord have mercy, this person is never going to come through on what they said. By actively working on repairing broken promises, individuals can indeed create a foundation for healthier and more trustworthy relationships. Now, you're going to have to learn how to recognize red flags. These red flags may indicate someone may be prone to future faking. This is what it looked like. Some common red flags include inconsistency in words and actions, making grandiose promises without following through, and a lack of accountability for the very actions that they promised to do. Do you know people don't want to do? Hey, I see you guys in the chat, and I hear everybody in the chat. I see you guys. You guys made this show what it is, and I'm going to tell you why. You guys call in. You guys participate. Zoe Williams on The Voice of Reason loves you guys. Los Angeles, I love you guys. And again, we have these conversations because many people refuse to do it. Many people they refuse to have tough conversations. And every night on The Voice of Reason, I'm going to push the envelope. Tonight was future faking. Somebody promising you something just to get something right now. If we don't have this conversation in the depth that we attempted to go in with it, if we don't have this conversation, many people have never heard of the term future faking. Somebody telling you something so they can get something right now. They're selling you that's like a music industry record deal. When I was at A&R, one of the crookedest deals I've ever seen is the recording contract. The recording contract tells the artist, I'm going to give you the money you need to live, to take care of yourself while you're making this record. This is what future faking looks like. I'm going to give you this money to take care of yourself. Get yourself a car, get yourself a place to live, pay your bills. But while you're doing that, you got to be in the studio making this record. Do you know when they signed that contract, they actually bought their masters with a loan? The record company has to recoup every penny they ever spent on you before you get paid as an artist. And in the process, they now own your masters. That's why you see a lot of artists out here say, hey, I finally got my masters, right? Isn't that crazy? They bought your record or they brought your masters with a loan. That's what future faking looks like in relationships. The label gets the record. Now you get paid in the future after they get paid. That's what future faking is in relationship. We started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. Up next, my girl, your girl, our friend Jill Monroe is in the building. RSVP with Jill Monroe. Up next, the fire continues.